Logan, Get Out, Baby Driver, Blade Runner 2049, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Let's do it. Are you ready for the Midnightly Show, the only pop culture show on the internet besides the thousands of others? And now your host, it's Matt. Alright, these are going to be the best movies I saw in 2017. This won't be in any particular order. Some honorable mentions: Good Time, Raw was great, Mudbound, Dunkirk, Spider-Man Homecoming, It Comes at Night, The Big Sick, and there's a few other ones that were really great.
Movies not included because Matt didn't see them. Alright, first movie, here we go. Get Out.
So whenever I talk to people about Get Out, a word that comes up a lot is weird. I guess compared to mainstream sort of horror movies, it could be considered quite weird. Maybe I'm just desensitized to weirdness because I've been watching a lot of Twin Peaks. The new Twin Peaks, the unfiltered David Lynch Twin Peaks. So to me this movie wasn't that weird, but I think if you look at it, every moment that is considered weird has a purpose. None of it is weird for the sake of weird, because I recently watched it for a second time, and every little character quirk, every line of dialogue, which the first time around you'll be like, that's off-putting, it all comes back and makes sense when you hear the context of the ending. And I think it's quite brilliant. It's a really well-constructed script. It rewards multiple viewings. I know some people had problems with the music. They thought it was a little too in your face. I didn't mind it. Like, you know, when a lady just like walks past in the background and you hear like... I didn't mind it in this movie. I didn't really notice it the first time around. I love seeing comedians succeed at more serious stuff, and I think Jordan Peele is a really talented director. Get Out. It was just a great, well-made horror movie. I'm a sucker for suspense movies with underlining social commentary. I really liked it.
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I recently became a big fan of the director Martin McDonagh. I saw In Bruges. Sorry.
Matt said sorry despite the fact that he was alone. Who is he apologizing to?
I saw In Bruges for the first time. I went into it not expecting much, and I was blown away by how funny and dark and twisted it was. It was such a well-rounded script. Every little detail kind of came back later on. So I was really looking forward to this, and I loved it. It's a powerhouse of performances by Frances McDormand and Sam Rockwell. It continues the streak of these dark elements with this comedy. I think a lot of filmmakers try and establish that tone that can be funny and dark at the same time, and you know, it's a very difficult tone to do well. To make people laugh one minute and then cry the next. It's such a weird contrast in tones. Most of the time it seems more jumbled than anything. But I think when a movie really pulls it off, they're some of my favorite movies. I love them. Such a satisfying feeling, I feel like. Range of emotions going everywhere. I'm a sucker for films that can combine tragedy and comedy so well. Yeah, and I think it's going to be a movie that really clears up the award season. Superb acting, amazing script.
Blade Runner 2049.
I think Denis Villeneuve is one of the greatest directors working at the moment. He's been consistently putting out one amazing movie a year, which is insane. My favorite movie of last year was Arrival. When this movie was first announced, I think I was more excited by the fact that it was a big budget Denis Villeneuve movie rather than a Blade Runner movie. I think the original had great tone and atmosphere and world building, but the actual plot was nothing really. It took me a couple viewings to really appreciate it. It was a movie I watched first in English class, and it didn't really connect with me. But I watched it again, and it's a movie that really gets better with every viewing. And I really like movies that explore bigger themes of what it is to be human. And this movie really nicely continues that. Core story is a lot stronger than the original one. Still keeps that great atmosphere and tone and exploration of greater themes. It's a beautiful film. You know, Roger Deakins, hopefully he wins the Oscar this year. I'm a sucker for hard sci-fi that explores deeper themes of humanity.
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver was a blast from start to finish. I think Edgar Wright, the director who's directed Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I think he's proven himself to be one of the great comedy directors for one, but also Just an all-around great auteur director. He's got such a unique style, and I can link an Every Frame Painting video. It talks about how he's one of the only comedy directors that really uses the film medium to get jokes. And this movie is a bit of a departure. It's not as funny as the other ones, but it's just really well done thriller. In each individual act, there's a different villain, and I think that can be almost seen as ill thought out, but I think it works really well because it keeps you on your feet and you don't really know who to trust. Baby Driver, great editing. The music was great, of course. It had to be good. It was fun, it was surprising, it went directions that you didn't necessarily expect. Good. It's a good movie. I'm a sucker for well-timed action beats with music. Logan was a great movie. You know, it's one of my favorite superhero movies of the past ever. Does it make sense? Yeah, I was just completely satisfied with it from start to finish. It's not just a good superhero movie, but it's just a really great overall movie. I think it fits in with a lot of the neo-Western movies that are coming out recently, like No Country for Old Men and Hell or High Water. The violence... Sorry.
Seriously, again.
It's not good because it's violent. It was good because the violence was appropriate for the type of story they were trying to tell. To get really great, talented directors and just letting them do their thing, I think is the best way to get results. Like, I'm not saying I could run studios better, and I know it's hard to choose great directors. Like, you never know who's going to make a great film. It kind of explores the darker edge of superhero movies. Wolverine as a character was always violent and angry, and a perfect ending to the saga. I'm a sucker for neo-westerns with a gritty edge.
What do all these movies have in common? Attention to details, both small and large. A director with a strong creative vision. They are all movies. Probably other things.
Alright, so in conclusion, I'm a sucker?